Well, I hope you're all ready for this. Distinguished guests, guests of no particular distinction, relatives young and old, friends, freeloaders, hangers-on, gypsies, tramps and thieves, and anyone else that seems to have wandered in. You're all about to witness a unique event in history. The very first and very last time that my wife is going to let me speak on behalf of both of us. However, it's a privilege and an honour to do so. I just hope that so soon into our married life, I don't let Lisa down. Glasses. My speech today will be awfully similar to a miniskirt, long enough to cover the essentials, but short enough to hold your attention. To be honest, I didn't really know where to start, so I thought I'd trawl the internet. After a couple of hours, I found some really, really good stuff. Then I remembered that I was supposed to be writing a speech. Before I start, and so as to keep your full attention, there will be a series of toasts at the end. So please make sure your glasses are fully charged. It's so lovely to see so many of our family and friends here today to help us celebrate the happiest day of our lives. I know that some of you have travelled a long way to be here, and that means a lot to us. It really wouldn't be the same without you all. It'd be a dance off cheaper, but that's not the point. Thank you all for your very generous donations to our honeymoon and for the gifts. And with special thanks to those of you who have given cheques. You know, we really are grateful for those, especially as we'll be using the details on the cheques to set up direct debit payments for all our bills for years to come. Who said identity fraud was a bad idea? Unfortunately, it's not been possible to have everyone we love here with us today, but we know they're here with us in spirit, and they're not only in our thoughts today, but more importantly, they're with us in our hearts. So with them in mind, would you please all stand and raise your glasses? No, don't worry about doing that, that's to the end. Yeah? And join me in get that bit. I'd also like to sincerely thank Lisa's mum and dad, Ian and Sue, for all their help with getting today together and making me feel like the son they never wanted. Sorry, the son that they never had. Right from day two, day one was a bit rough. Sue had decided she wasn't going to like me. I was known as Johnny Come Lately. However, my award-winning charm and sales talk soon won her over. There is an unwritten rule of wedding etiquette that states nobody should look more handsome than the groom, and I'd like to thank our best man, Jay, and Usher Ratty, and Speaker Chris for sticking to that rule to the letter. Ratty, you've done very well with your bouncer style ushering, although I'm not quite sure that saying you'll sit where you're bloody well put was really in the spirit of the day. We'll let it pass. Thanks all of you for your parts you have played. I've known Jay, my best man, for nearly 7 years now, and throughout that time he has been there for me when it matters, and he's always ready with an encouraging word and a welcome bottle of Miller's when things are going badly. And if I'm being honest, when things are going well. I'd like to thank him for all his help in organising the stag do, but most importantly, I'd like to thank him for being a true friend. He supplies both myself and Lisa with unrivalled humour through his God-given talent of being clumsy and his wonderful reenactments of when Rose throws her heart of the ocean into the sea at the end of Titanic. It was a particular favourite. All this aside, there is something that I need to make you aware of. Jay suffers from a strange condition that occasionally causes him to drift in and out of weird, strange flights of fantasy. He has been known to make up fanciful stories, absolutely believing them to be true. Anyway, it's only right that I advise you of this ahead of his speech. As I say, he's a true friend and I wouldn't want you to go upsetting him, so if you could bear with him, even join in with him on his journey of make-believe, both Joe and I would very much appreciate it. Apart from my wife, there are several beautiful ladies here today. Libby Grace, Penny, Shelley, and Lauren. We'd like to thank them very much for being such wonderful bridesmaids. You all fussed over Lisa sufficiently. I would like to thank my wife. I think I'm going to enjoy getting used to saying that, for agreeing to marry me and for making me the happiest man in the world. Those of you that don't know Lisa, as well as others, I feel it would be a travesty if you left today without learning a little about Lisa. How we met? Are you ready? And what makes us match so well? In the quickest summary you have ever had, we met at one of Chris Hammond's barbecues. Lisa had a large bottle of Caribbean Twist in hand. It didn't last long. She announced that I was like all the best bits of all her previous boyfriends all rolled into one. Whilst her boyfriend at the time was stood right there. We became good friends and it wasn't long before we were an item. Lisa astounds me with a lot of this. For example, today I think you'll agree that she looks absolutely gorgeous today, and when she walked up the aisle, well, in the words of Cameron, she made my heart beat like a pogo stick. This isn't the only thing though. She has an uncanny way of saying the most dense things a person can. I should just give you a couple of little snippets. One day Lisa randomly says, "You know, I don't like those numbing drops." Me standing there like, And she finishes this with, "I mean, you can't really feel your eyes, can you? When they give you those drops, it makes them like numb." And then just the other day, we had a meeting with the vicar to discuss the final arrangements for the day. I say, "My feet are a little chilly," as a small joke, implying that what would be obvious to some. Lisa responds with, "Why, haven't you got any socks on?" They say you don't marry someone you can live with, you marry the person you can't live without. And I think that sums us up perfectly. Now, if I had to single out one thing why I love Lisa so much, it would be the fact that she makes me happier than I ever dreamed I could be. And I intend to spend the rest of my life making sure that the reverse is also true. I know that Lisa has put a huge amount of effort into making today perfect, and I think she has done that, and more. Having lived with Lisa for a couple of years now, I've learned a valuable lesson. When I'm wrong, admit it. When I'm right, keep quiet. So, ladies and gentlemen, we shall start the toasts. Please stand and raise your glasses to my wife, Lisa. And then if you could also raise your glasses for Ian, Sue, Mum and Dad, your support. Ian, Sue, Mum and Dad. Raise your glasses for all the bridesmaids. And then all the groomsmen. And then I'd like to finish with, basically, as a good friend of mine once said, I'd like to have special thanks for myself, for without me, none of this would be here. So without further ado, I'd like to hand over to Joe.